first golden activity that you need to be doing is having conversations with your avatar clients. And if you haven't got those, the sole second thing you need to be focusing on, and your team need to be focusing on, is activity to generate conversations with avatar clients. Those are the two things, absolutely full stop, that you need to be focusing on at the moment. And then you've got to regulate your emotions on data. So what do I mean by that? So we were in this big change process for 6 months, and every single day it was just, you know, like we were piecing parts of the jigsaw together, but we couldn't see where it was heading. And I just kept pulling myself back to, right, let's have a look at what's the data, what's, you know, what actually have we achieved, and, you know, what's the realistic thing. I think I was getting uncomfortable because I wanted to feel good now, but actually when you're going through this big change, it is really uncomfortable. So you have to have systems in place to basically protect yourself against yourself. And the most important thing is you have to make a decision that you are going to sit through this change. Like, you've got to have a vision that's so compelling at the other side, and you're going to know that it's going to be uncomfortable, but there's certain activities, if I do these activities and do them consistently for a short amount of time, really, in the grand scheme of things, maybe 4 weeks, really, maybe 6 weeks. If you do these things consistently for 6 weeks, it will change your life. And by the way, we're not with these the data, and this is the thing most people get wrong, is they're focusing on the end goal only. So they're focusing on the money that's coming in. The data that you need to be tracking it's the activity, because if there's a numbers, there's ratios and conversions that happen, but ultimately there's, you know, if you do a certain number of activity here and you do it consistently, and you make sure that you're masterful at those parts in the process, like the connect and serve call and the magic messaging, if you master those, then as long as you're mastering those, you will get results, as long as the numbers are there as well. And this is the thing that people don't do, either because they were so KPI'd in their earlier life as a recruitment consultant, they'd set up their own business because they're like, I want to get out of that structure, and they haven't looked at KPIs since, or they're not very good at detail, or it's not, and let's say, reframe that, detail is not one of their super strengths, so they don't really track stuff. But this is where the magic is in, you know, it's in the data. And you know, it's a scientific calculation, and you know, which, if you follow that calculation, if you follow certain activity, then the end results will come. So my point is, you would be focusing on, like, what's the activity that we need to do to generate these sales conversations? You know, is it LinkedIn connection requests? Is it mail shots to our database? Is it speaking to candidates to get some ideas on leads? You know, whatever the activity is you need to be doing to generate the sales conversations, you'd be looking at the number of keep in touch calls to the database. You could be looking at the number of connection calls. So, because we know if we do a number of those, the end results will come at the end.